Hello again everybody, Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. Today we're going to talk about a little old game that I find to be personally pretty enjoyable from both back in the day and as we're going to see a bit more recently, called Ladybug, which was released by Universal and back in 1981 as an arcade cabinet original. And then it was ported by both Coleco and Taito to the Coleco ColecoVision, which in those days did the very best arcade ports of any second generation home video game console. And it was also ported down to the Intellivision home video game console line, which it was missing a few features compared to the Coleco ColecoVision port. But not bad. I actually own a copy, and I might get around to featuring that at some point. In the meantime, I'm going to showcase for you guys a release that, well, back in the day, they never got around to releasing it for the Atari VCS 2600. However, a homebrew was done of it, which we have here, and I'm going to show you guys some. And anyway, you can see we have a pretty nice box. This is the original version. It's from Champ Games and was done through Atari Age, their Atari Age store. You can see it's got a pretty nice back here, a little bit of the gameplay shown. And of course here we have our manual. It's from Champ Games. You can tell here it's got a copyright of 2006. See if I can get our focus back here. There we go. Copyright 2006, right there. Champ Games. Pretty nice looking little manual here. Shows you a bit of the gameplay and an explanation of how it plays. And here we have some credits. It was programmed and created by, the code and design was by John W. Champew, which I hope I didn't mispronounce that. And so he's the homebrew developer primarily responsible for having brought this one to us in 2006. Which would also explain why it's Champ Games. And here's our back. And of course here's our cartridge. Very nice. Love that artwork. Again, hard to see, but you can kind of see copyright 2006. And it's a pretty basic cartridge and all. Okay, now I've got everything set up and we're going to get to the game. I think that will just about do. There we go, and that's a much clearer picture, I think. Okay, you have different modes you can actually do here. For me, I go for the novice, which gives you about 5 ladybugs. I'm not going to try to drag this out too long. Then we go ahead and get started. Your objective is basically to eat all of the, nice sound effects there, all of the dots which represent flowers. The blue hearts will increase your score multiplier by 1 more time each time you get one. The green are doors you can use. The white you don't want to touch, those are skulls which represent poison. The letters in yellow such as S, no, I should have got in red because that would have gone for special, which parts you want to get when they're blue for the score multiplier, but not always possible. Now, when you collect enough letters for special, you end up being invited to the Veggie Bounty Harvest, a special round where you get to eat a lot of extra vegetables. Okay, we got that for our special. X for extra. Oop. Well, there goes 1 life. You can see along the edges how that the colors tend to change. That is because it is counting down to the next big carnivorous insect coming out and being released. It plays in that respect kind of similar to games like Pac-Man, except for unlike Pac-Man, you don't have all 4 ghosts coming out to chase you pretty much immediately at one time. It's a little bit more relaxed than that. And of course, with the green for the doors, it kind of resembles some other maze games like Mousetrap. So if you enjoy maze genre games, this is a pretty good one. At least I tend to think so. Okay, we're going to wait for our, there will be up to 4 bugs out, 4 insects. And with the 4th, we will get our bonus vegetable, which once that comes out, will freeze them temporarily once I get it, and is a pretty big point bonus. Those doors sure do come in handy to a degree, don't they? Up. And there goes 2 lives. So now I've just got the bonus vegetable to try to get without getting nailed, and that's going to be a bit complicated since I've got to wait for all 4 of them. Also, if you spell extra in the yellow letters, you're going to get an extra life. Something which could definitely come in handy. I've certainly wasted a good number of lives already trying to get through these guys. And again, those doors come in handy a lot. Like I said, kind of similar to Mousetrap. You have the doors to help you keep away from them. Not always so super easy to do. We have 1 more and we can try to go for our bonus vegetable. Oh. Well, that was a bad turn. I like how this plays. It has nice, good graphics with a very, very nice, smooth feel. And it has pretty much all the features of the ColecoVision port too. I've heard homebrew developers often talk about that their games like this are not necessarily supposed to be considered ports. But for me, if you create a version of a game for a console which it hasn't been on before, you are kind of creating yet another port. though in this case I would consider them to be a homebrew port. It might have been nice if Coleco and Taito had gotten around to doing this for us back in the day, but as it goes, they were kind of restricted back then to 4K maximum memory size in most cases, had tight deadlines, so it probably would not have been nearly as good as what we're seeing here. As a matter of fact, this cartridge, playing it on my Hyperkin Retron 77 emulation hardware clone console probably shouldn't be happening, except for as it, at least out of the box, is mostly only known to be capable of playing games up to about 4K size in regards to homebrews, and it gets to be hit or miss after that. There we go, got our vegetable there. And we're going to the next level with the last, with our last flower. That's what the dots represent as flowers. Anyway, with about 4K size is what's supposed to be generally what you can do. For homebrews on the Hyperkin Retron 77 emulation hardware clone console, well, I guess maybe my firmware update to Stella version 6.4 on this is probably part of the reason why I am able to play this cartridge, which is technically a 16K game size, and so it probably wouldn't usually be playable here, but it is. I'm not sure if that firmware update to Stella 6.4, giving it more game files and possibly more ability to recognize some games it might not have before, has anything to do with, died again, has anything to do with my ability to play this without requiring original hardware instead. But it is kind of nice because that's a game size, since it's supposed to support about 4K size games, this is a game size about 4 times larger than what it should be able to do. Wait for that to turn red. There we go. And I think I'm pretty well done my last life here. Down to maze 3 with the carrot. Should wait to get the bonus vegetable, but I just didn't worry about it. Again, the hearts you want to wait to turn blue for your score multiplier to come down. So A for special. Oh boy, here he goes, trying to get me. Not today, my friend. Well, my enemy. Ooh, and that one just got taken out by some poison, so I'll take it. Let's see, can't afford to have our videos gameplay drag out forever here, so here we go. Okay. And that, in general, was the gameplay for Ladybug. Now, knowing one of my good friends who has also paid forward quite a few games to me in the past, James Brad Witt, is a big fan of the maze game genre and would really enjoy this game. James, it's going to be a while, but keep watching your mail because I'm going to be ordering an extra copy to send to repay your paying it forward to me over time some. Also, go ahead. I'm going to include links to both the where you can purchase this at the Atari Age store, and also there was a special collector's edition of it, but it only ran for about 100 copies, so that's not available. But I'll include it anyway, so you guys can take a look. That one looked a lot more like the original Coleco cartridge, and how do you say, box and manual and overlays and everything. Also, my friend and fellow YouTuber Brian Puddin has an excellent video on this too from a while back. I'll include a link to that. If you enjoy my content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I'm always open to any comments, questions, or suggestions, so leave those down below. You guys have a nice morning, and I will see you all again in my next video.